Welcome back, Dayton, Ohio, to another episode of In the Studio at DaytonRocks.com. I'm your host, Eric Liddic, and today I'm joined with singer-songwriter Mikey Lewis. How you doing today, Mike?
Doing good, man.
Great. Thanks for coming out, man. I was first introduced to Mikey by a mutual friend of ours, Sammy
Joe?
Yeah, Sammy Joe. She's another fantastic singer-songwriter who we'll be having out here shortly, and basically shared a link with me to one of your YouTube videos and was kind of really impressed. Thought, we had to get you on the show, man. Can you tell us a little bit about
Basically, I work at Panera Bread, and me and Sammy was getting trained there. She doesn't really work with me. She works at Panera, but she doesn't really work at the same one I do. But she was getting trained up there, and, we're just getting to know each other and stuff, and sure enough, she's a musician. So we're sitting there talking about, playing music together, and she has a show coming up. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll go see what she's got, go check her out. She's ended up, like you said, she's phenomenal, dude. She's a great singer. She's a really good songwriter. And I showed her some of my stuff, and she said she really liked it. And then she told me about you, who said that we can, get this little thing going on. And it felt like a great idea, so I figured why not.
Good deal, man. Yeah, she's, like I said, fantastic. But, I was really impressed with what we saw on YouTube from you. And, I noticed you didn't have any recordings going on. Are you working on anything in the studio?
Actually, yeah, I am. That's kind of the speed bump I'm trying to get over right now. I've been to multiple studios around Dayton, and I'm learning. I'm learning about it. I'm also learning what producers and what studios we have to work with around here. And it's really weird, man, because you get, you know how you want your song to sound. Like, it's in your head. It reels all the time. But when you get in that studio, man, being able to get the song out like you want to hear it is a much different story, man. You have to come prepared. You have to be on point in there. And that's basically what I'm trying to figure out. I don't expect anything to happen immediately, but I'm just going to keep at it until I get something that I feel like is a promising recording. Then I'll probably stick with that producer studio.
Do you do most of your stuff solo, or do you ever play with any bands?
I have played with bands. I've dabbled with bands. I've tried, and it's a little bit complicated. I like playing with bands. You get a much fatter sound, and you get gigs a lot easier, especially paying gigs. But it's a lot harder to get everyone on the same schedule, getting everyone linked at the same time. Like, you got to have practices pretty often if you want to sound good, but you also have to write and work out songs, as well as once you're done with that and you got shows going on, you have to start thinking about hitting the studio and being able to get everybody in on the same timing after your jobs and stuff. And some people got kids and stuff. It's difficult. It makes it really difficult. So I just came to the conclusion that I would, for the most part, until something promising offers itself, I'm just going to keep doing my solo stuff.
You hit up any specific open mics or anything like that around town?
I have, yeah. I've played a few open mics around town. South Park Tavern. I know a few people that play there. I'm sure you've seen there. One Eye Jacks, Blind Bob's, Canal Street Tavern's a really good one. I like playing up there a lot. But I've kind of taken a break off of playing shows. I haven't played for about, I'd say, 2 months now. Trying to get a better guitar to play my shows with. It's not so easy being able to hold your guitar in front of that mic and sing and stuff. And I've been trying to get the studio thing down too, which takes up a lot of my time, as well as write new songs.
That's nice. So what are some of your influences? How'd you
man.
begin with music? And
my dad is a really, really big push into music. He growing up, I always listened to what my brothers listened to, which is like Wu-Tang Clan and hip-hop and Bone Thugs and Harmony and stuff, like all that rap music. But my dad would always play me different stuff. He's a really big classic rock fan, and he would always be jamming stuff down my throat that I at the time didn't like, but it eventually grew on me. Like the Beatles. Beatles, my number one favorite band. My number one favorite guitarist is Jimi Hendrix. But, as far as influences go, man, I'm influenced by music itself. There's a lot of stuff out. I'll hear a song, and I'll try to find something good that I like about it, rather than just be like, oh, that song sucks, throw it out. Now, given there are some songs out there that are just really, really bad, but you gotta look on the bright side of those kinds of things. And as far as like influences, I'm pretty classical rock influenced, but Steely Dan, that's another one I really enjoy, just because of their tightness in the studio. I find something different about each artist that I like. Like the Beatles, as a band, they were just a phenomenal band of phenomenal songwriters. Like John Lennon and Paul McCartney being such great songwriters, bouncing off each other, and George Harrison even, he had some good songs. I think even Ringo Starr had one or two if he was lucky.
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, Yellow We All Live. But yeah, and then there's people like Jimi Hendrix. I can't necessarily say he was as good of a songwriter as the Beatles, but man, he was a killer guitarist, man. He was like the best. Well, in my opinion, he was the best. And then there's stuff like new artists, like I'm a big John Mayer fan. Obviously, you could probably hear that in my kind of music. And Jack Johnson, I feel like they're both just phenomenal guitarists and songwriters, especially being able to hold their own for their individuality. It's really hard to just be able to work out all that stuff when you're an individual artist. And I'm learning that more and more every day. Like, I don't play bass. I don't play drums. I don't really know anything about that stuff, but unless I just want straight acoustic recordings, I have to figure that stuff out. And either I find a bassist or I try to do it myself. And it gets complicated. And being able to like make full studio albums and such great songs when you just started off as a guitarist and singer, I don't know, it blows my mind. I'm trying to figure that out right now, how to do that.
Nice. So you're going to be playing a couple songs for us in the studio. Can you tell us a little bit about those songs and your what inspired those?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be playing Hold On To You, which is, I'd basically just take my songs and I'll play them, and based off of, like, how people respond to them is how I know if it's a good song or not. I can't take my own personal opinion because I think some songs are good, but some songs are bad. Like, I find the good and the bad in all my songs, and it ends up I'm just really hard critiquing them. So the Hold On To You is probably the one I've got the best fan base for, I guess you could say. A lot of people have liked that one. It's just another lovey-dovey song, It's about relationships, like those unbalanced relationships where you've got one person that's trying to make it work, and then that other person that just, they're chasing somebody else, who's chasing somebody else, who's chasing somebody else. It's just complicated. So I wrote Hold On To You about this girl that I was trying to stay with, and she liked another guy, so I wrote her that song, to show her how much I liked her and how I wanted her to stay with me, feeling like a good song would convince her to stay with me, which of course didn't work at all. But it's okay, I got a good song out of it. And then Lazy Days, I was just messing around with that song. When I first started writing that song, I was actually explaining to one of my friends how songwriting works, like how you just like start writing a song because they were asking about it. And sure enough, it kind of stuck in my head and it kind of stuck around. So I just kept working at it, and I called it Lazy Days because I wanted to write something that everybody can relate to, and who doesn't have a lazy day? That's just the way I feel about it.
Probably have 6 of them a week. We won't get into that. But all right, thanks for coming out, man. Really looking forward to hearing a couple of these songs and hearing some of the studio stuff you're hopefully going to put out here shortly. Thanks, guys, for tuning in for another episode in the studio with DaytonRocks.com, and sit back and enjoy some of Mikey's songs here. Thanks a lot.
I'm Mikey, and this song is called Hold On To You. Well, I'm spinning in circles, I don't know what to do. Maybe I got my mind all wrapped up around you, but you're like the wind with your come and go. I tried so hard when there was no control in you, and maybe I just wanna hold on to you. I tried to believe that we always had a chance, but baby, I couldn't force your feet to dance. And too hard when there was no control in you. And maybe I just wanna hold on to you. And I know I'm not the only one, and I don't mind having fun, 'cause this is nothing I can say or do, it's up to you, and you know it too. Oh baby, I just wanna hold on to you. Oh baby, I just wanna hold on to you. This is Lazy Days. Well, I woke up a couple hours after noon. I toked up and I was supposed to clean my room, but that was too much to do. So I hit the kitchen, turned on the tube when I should have been in class by 2, but that was too much to do, because I got a steady job that I work just about every day, and it's so hard to get up when you gotta carry all that weight. So I had a lazy day. Get home, I think I broke my back again. Work sucks, tell me will it ever end? 'Cause I'm so tired of dealing with these average shows. I'm inspired but I ain't got a place to go, because I got a steady job that I work just about every day, and it's so hard to get up when you gotta carry all that weight. And when we lose a song, feeling nothing's been done, we feel all so ashamed, but that's okay, that's okay. So I've had lazy days.